Hey guys, it's Bella, and in this video I am going to talk about a person who, to use modern terminology as a shorthand, we might call a queer person in Ostrogothic Italy. This person is recorded in an epigram by Magnus Felix Ennodius. It is called Epigram de Adultero et Molle, meaning an epigram about an adulterous and soft man. And I'm going to read the original Latin, and I do beg your forgiveness because my scansion is going to be quite poor, but here we go. Omnia memphis reti nentre saecula textis, servivit nunquam Laurentius ante Neroni, nec timuit validas vicit qui corpore flammas, vir facie mulier gestus et crure corambo. Georgia nature nullo discrimine solvens, es lepus et tanti conculas colla leones, egide menjacet popullorum usorcula barbas, ne minuant questum mascula labratum, respice portentum per mixto iure creatum, communis generis satius sed dicitur omnes, ludit in ancipit constans fallacia sexu, femina cum patitur per ragicum turpia mas est. So, as ContraPoints would say, there is a lot to unpack here. So, what do I mean when I say that this is or I imply that this is a Transbian from Ostrogothic Italy? Who is this person? What do we know about them from this poem? So, in the very title, we get a couple of hints. Adultero et molle. So, these are both masculine singular adjectives. So, adulterous and soft man. Now, soft in the Greco-Roman context means, in some ways, what it does to certain people today. This implication that a soft man is an effeminate man, is a weak, and is a passive homosexual man, which is important. We're going to get to this in a bit. So, this in the Greco-Roman world has some associations with gender bending already. So, this person is an adulterer, but not just because he is or they are being very sexual and cheating on their wife, but implied they are cheating with other men. I'm going to use they pronouns for this person because we don't really know, right? So these first two lines are just a prologue, basically saying how the world is covered in filth. Basically, it's saying all of the ages are retained with memphitic textiles or memphitic coverings. So this is a mythological reference here. And servivit nunquam Laurentius ante Neroni is Saint Laurentius was never servile before the Emperor Nero. So this is, I think, putting up a dichotomy between the Christian who is non-passive or is active and the pagan who is implied to possibly be passive, in this case, Nero. This next line, nec timuit validas vicit qui corpore flammas, he did not fear he was not afraid, rather, who with his body conquered strong flames. Now the strong flames here, validas flammas, is very relevant because it's a metaphor that we still have to this present day, like the flames of erotic desire, the flames of passion. And he's saying that this Saint Laurentius was not afraid. He, in his body, beat those flames. He was able to conquer the flames of passion with his body. And now Ennodius is going to talk about a man, and Ennodius definitely thinks this person is a man, who does not conquer the flames with his body, and whom, in fact, gives into these flames. So we get our first description of this person here. Vir facie mulier gestus et crure corambo. So this is a man in face or appearance, facie, mulier gestu, or in action. So gestu can mean clothing, and it can also mean action or presentation. So we could maybe loose but also accurate to translate this would be a man in appearance, a woman in presentation, like gender presentation. So crure corambo, but both bloodied. Now this is a curious one. I'm not fully sure what the crure is doing here. It may be a reference to the fact that he's not able to do, or this person is not able to do either of these genders correctly, therefore they're both bloodied. Iurgia natura de nullo discrimine solvens, dissolving nature's divorces with abandon, basically. So what this is implying is that the adulterous and soft man is dissolving, breaking up the separations of nature, namely the separation between the two sexes, just without any care, no F's given. And then he addresses this person directly in these lines here. Es lepus et tanti conculas colla leones. So you're a hare, you're like a rabbit, and you're trampling such a lion's such the necks of a lion, the necks of a lion. This is rather interesting. The lepus, I believe, has sexual connotations in the Greco-Roman world, and the colla leonis, the lion being a very powerful symbol of masculinity and strength, is saying that through your sexuality you are defeating this very masculine symbol. And this next bit is the only hint in this poem that this person might be Ostrogothic. Exige mendaces populorum uxorcula barbas. So exige is like get rid of, cut out the lying beards of the people. Now, populorum is the important thing here, because the stereotype is that it was the Goths who had big beards and perhaps were predisposed to growing beards. So that the fact that Ennodius is telling sarcastically this person to get rid of their beard implies that this person might be Gothic in origin, and there are various strategies Ennodius uses in his other poems to associate the Goths with queer people, and I'll talk about those in future videos. And in this word here, we have maybe a little something of a nickname for this person, uxorcula, which is sort of the dismissive term for like little petty wife. Ennodius does not give a name for this person, although he does for several others. So maybe Ennodius is calling this person uxorcula, like little wife. And the reason this uxorcula has to get rid of these beards is ne minuant questum mascula labratum, lest masculine lips threaten questum dum, threaten your quest, threaten your occupation, threaten that which you're looking for. So the implication here is that this person needs to shave their mustache, quite literally. Barba here can mean beard or mustache. Lest manly lips, mascula labra, threaten your quest in seeking presumably straight men who are looking to fuck this transsexual, basically this man in appearance or man in face, but woman in deed. And I would actually the double meaning of facie meaning face and appearance, and also of gestu for mulier, I think is important here, because if we read this as meaning both face and appearance, it links us into this line down below where he's talking about the beard. So he's saying you've got a man's face, you need to curate your face so it, get rid of the beard so you look less like a man. And the reason you need to do this is because otherwise your masculine lips are going to threaten your quest to get heterosexual, as we would call them, men to sleep with you. And then he addresses possibly the audience, I believe, here in this second part of in this later part of the poem. He says, "Respice portendum permexo iure creatum." Look back at this portent, this bad omen for the future, created with a mixed up law. And this law is referring, of course, to the blending of gender roles that this person demonstrates. Communis generis satius sed dicitur omnis. But rather it is said to be of a common gender, communis generis, which is interesting. So perhaps Ennodius is saying that through cross-dressing, mulier gestu, this person sort of becomes neither a man nor a woman. And that's the interesting thing about this line. Ennodius is not saying this person is a man acting like a woman. He's saying this person is a man in face. They are a woman in their dress, in their presentation. So this person literally is both at the same time, which is extremely interesting. And then the last two lines we have ludit in ancip de constant fallacia sexo. So constant fallacy, so constant falsehood, fallacy, plays, it sort of messes around in a two-membered sex. So again, this is referring to this person having two identities of a man and a woman, or two roles perhaps. Femina cum patitur peragit cum turpia mas est. So, I interpret this line as, although his woman, his wife presumably, because remember this is an adulterer, suffers patitur per agit cum turpia when he, or rather his wife suffers when he acts with sort of disgraces. Mas est, that common line often thrown at trans women, mas est, it's a man. Ennodius is literally saying, all the way back during Ostrogothic Italy, it's a man in a dress. It's that line, yet again. So what we have here in terms of the raw facts of it, Ennodius is deriding this person for being a man in appearance but dressing like a woman, and apparently doing it both quite badly. He's not taming his natural desires to cross-dress like a Christian such as Laurentius would have done, but rather this person is acting like a pagan such as Nero. He is like a rabbit trampling the necks of lions. This person, Ennodius is saying sarcastically, should shave off their beard, which are associated with the Ostrogoths, so that they look more feminine, and so masculine hairy lips don't impede their quest to catch a man, basically. To catch a man while cheating on their wife, I should say. And he tells the reader of this poem to look at this terrible omen. And it's interesting that he refers to this person as an omen, portentum, because what can this person possibly be an omen of? This person is a mixture of two different roles, right? Of the man and the woman. And in this same time period, Ennodius is also writing about the mixture of ethnicities, a mixing of Roman and Gothic identities. So perhaps Ennodius here is talking of any kind of mixture as a portent, as an omen of bad signs, of bad things to come, per mixto iure, an omen with mixed up rule, mixed up law. And he says that because of this person's actions, they're of a common gender rather than male or female. And he says that fallacy is dancing, is playing in a two-membered sex. And this last line, which I find a bit confusing to translate, but it ends, I think, ultimately with re-emphasizing to Ennodius's readers that this particular person is a man. So what we have here in essence is a person who is assigned male at birth, acting in a feminine manner in Ostrogothic Italy, and Magnus Felix Ennodius is chastising this person and shaming them for their activities. This is perhaps a reminder to us not only that queer people, or people who we would now call queer, have existed throughout history, but that some of the rhetoric used against queer people has been the same throughout history. And it's also fascinating to look at the interplay of different socio-political circumstances in how queer people are perceived. In this case, there are some subtle implications that this particular uxorcula, this particular person that Ennodius is deriving, may well be Ostrogothic or associated in some way with the Ostrogoths. And this is because within the particular political circumstances of his time, that was the other big mixture that was going on. Just as this person is mixing gender roles, people in Ennodius's time were mixing Gothic and Roman ethnicities. And this mixing of laws is something which Ennodius cannot stand, and he vituperously condemns with this poem. So, thank you guys for for watching. I hope you've got something out of it. Please let me know in the comments if there's anything that I haven't explained very well or that you would like to know more about. I'm going to do more videos analysing poems by Magnus Felix Ennodius, and I hope that this has given you guys a bit more of an insight into maybe even daily life in the Ostrogothic kingdom. So until next time, thank you guys for watching. Bye!